Congratulations on your appointment with the Breakers. Let's go through your history with the side itself. You of course, were a player.
Yeah, started in 2003 when the club first entered the league and played 8 seasons for them. So I've been away for 2 years coaching, and to be able to go back so soon is pretty exciting for me.
Dean Vickerman, of course, a new coach and previous assistant coach. What do you think he brings to the mix?
Oh, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. First and foremost, he's been around a very long time, especially involved in the Australian League for over 20 years. So, he's done his time, so to speak, and I'm really excited and happy for him that he's got this opportunity to lead his own club now, and he deserves it. He's like I said, he's put the time in, he's put the work in, and I think he's well and truly ready to make his mark on the NBL as a head coach.
He has coached in New Zealand, hasn't he?
He coached the Wellington Saints. Back in 2002, around about that time, and then obviously coached the Pistons up in Waikato for 2 or 3 seasons, won championship with them. So he's a classy guy, he's a classy coach, and I think he's going to do a great job.
Is that a good way to transition from assistant coach to head coach? Because of course you know the infrastructure, you know what's going on within the club, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think because he's put his work in with the club. I think he was assistant for 6 years with Andre, maybe 5. I'm not too sure what the number was, but he's put his time in and spent quality time with that club, and so he knows what the club's all about, knows their values, knows the culture, knows the environment. And now all he has to do is come in and sort of put his own spin on things and how he wants things done. You don't have to, when you're coming into a successful organisation, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. You come in and be who you are and stay true to the values that are already there.
What will your role be exactly?
Well, I guess my official role is defensive coordinator. So a lot of scouting opposition teams, opposition players, coming up with game plans in terms of how we want to counter or stop teams going into games, which I'm really excited about. It's something about coaching that I really enjoy. Watching hours upon hours of film and just figuring out what the best way is to move forward in terms of going into a game. But assistant coach, they have so many hats. You're a cheerleader, you're a coach, you're a referee at times in games. You do all of the above, and that's the exciting part about it. It's just, everything is so fresh because you're always changing, you're always doing new and exciting things. So again, so excited to get up there.
Was it in the back of your mind as you were a player with the club that perhaps you'd like to move into that sort of role? You said before that you wanted to come back, but this is a bit sooner than you thought.
Yeah, a lot sooner than I thought. As I said, I've been away for 2 years. After finishing this season with the Sharks, with 3 seasons under my belt as a coach, and to be going into such a good organisation, 3 years into my coaching career, it's definitely sooner than I expected. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to get back there, if not there, to another successful club in Australia or around the world. I've chosen this as my profession, and you just go where the work is.
Did you feel you were being watched as a player's watched for a draft or to be a coach? Did you feel you were being scrutinised?
No, not really. I guess being new, you're caught up and tied up and trying to do the best job you can. You just totally focused in on your team and on your players and on the organisation and myself as a coach. So I wasn't really worried about any sort of external factors, and I wasn't even too concerned that if I got the Breakers job or not, because I realised that I'm so early in my coaching career that I was just chosen the path of coming down here and continuing to build and grow as a coach and as a person, and this is just a bit of an added bonus that I get to do both now.
Let's talk about the NBL. Do you see the New Zealand NBL as a feeder towards the Breakers or heading towards that way? Yeah,
I think so. It's the closest high-level competition to the Breakers, and there's always been a watchful eye over the individuals and the teams and how players are going in the New Zealand NBL. So I think it's just a natural sort of progression that the top players or the players that stand out, they're probably in the best chance to at least get a look in with the Breakers.
Are there some Sharks? We've got a couple already in the mix with the Breakers. Do you see more potential there?
Oh, definitely. You have to be careful. You don't want to sort of take advantage of the context and the players that you have. I just think it's important that you let players make their own decisions, but obviously I think it is an advantage in terms of me being based with the Breakers, having a relationship with a couple of players there, and maybe some of the up and coming players that are looking to play for an organisation or a club in the New Zealand League to get their experience and game time. That might open up a few opportunities in terms of getting some extra players down here in Southland. So, it's. There is a bit of an advantage here, but like I said, you got to be careful about it as well, and not be seen as the Breakers' one and only feeder club, because it's in the Breakers' best interest to have players in all the clubs, I guess, or as many as possible.
Okay, to the Sharks now. It's a big week this week. How are things going mid-season? You've just come off a bye.
Yeah, we've we had a bit of a few days off. We had the guys had three.
They did have a break.
Yeah, I gave them about 3.5 days off. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but the way that we've come in and trained this week hasn't been ideal, hasn't been great. It always takes a little while to get the rust, because when you're training sort of every day or every other day over a long period of time, any time off you just lose your edge really quickly, and I think that's definitely what's happened. And saying that, I think the rest is important. You got to refresh yourself mentally and physically, and now we've got probably less than 6 weeks to go, so this weekend is huge. The guys they've worked hard the first couple of days, but we need another good training on Thursday night to prepare ourselves for the Jets. And the Jets right now, they're sitting one spot ahead of us in that top four, and that's obviously we want to get to. So if we want to end up there at the end of the year, this is a must-win game for us. And
it's at home, of course, which is a great advantage.
Yeah, it is. We've made it known that we want to take care of business at home and win all our games at home. We dropped one already. We don't want to drop any more. We've got 2 left, and we need these 2 games to again put us in good stead in terms of trying to make that top 4.
Injuries at this stage?
Just Morgan Ngatanahita has been ruled out for the season with a ruptured ACL. But other than that, it's just sort of general niggling injuries that you have throughout a season.
And you've got the talent to fill that gap?
Yeah, we do. I think there's opportunities here for Gareth Dawson to step up. Leon Henry might get a few extended minutes, and James Paranata as well, who's had, he hasn't had the best of opportunities this year, but when players go down, it opens up opportunities for others.
And so no new inclusion to the squad. You're quite happy with the players you've got?
Yeah, I did sort of look around to see if there was anyone available and worthwhile bringing in, and after a couple of days of talking to people, discovered that there's not really anyone else around. Everyone's either tied up with other commitments or another NBL team. So as I said, I'm pretty confident with what we have here, and the guys will step up.
It's a big game. You'll be expecting a full house.
Yeah, I hope so. I haven't quite seen that sold out sign yet, but we're getting close. The buzz and the excitement around Sharks home games is starting to get really good, and it's just unfortunate that we only have 2 games left. So for those 2 games, hopefully we can get a good turnout.